My friends, let me start with a simple but powerful truth. You are not your circumstances, and you are not your weaknesses. But somewhere inside each of us lives a version of ourselves that whispers doubts, nurtures fears, and holds us back. That version, it's time to let it go. It's time to kill that weak version of yourself. Weakness is not a sign of failure, but a sign of humanity. It exists in all of us, though most of us are reluctant to admit it. We carry it in our habits, our thoughts, and our emotions, often without even realizing it. Recognizing your inner weakness is not about labeling yourself as less than or not enough. It's about shining a light on the parts of you that hinder your growth. It's about understanding that weakness, when left unexamined, becomes the silent architect of your limitations. To recognize your inner weakness, you must first slow down and pay attention to your patterns. When you avoid difficult tasks, hesitate to make decisions, or repeat the same mistakes, those are signs of weakness whispering in your ear. It's not just about what you do, it's about the reasons behind your actions. Weakness often wears a mask of excuses. I'm too tired, I'm too busy, or I'll do it tomorrow. The truth is, it's not about time or energy, it's about fear, doubt, and a lack of self-belief. Understanding your inner weakness requires self-compassion. It's easy to be harsh with yourself, to judge yourself for your flaws, but that only feeds the cycle of negativity. Instead, approach your weakness with curiosity. Ask yourself, where did this come from? Who taught me to doubt myself, to shrink in the face of challenges? Weakness often originates from old wounds, moments in your past when you felt rejected, humiliated, or powerless. Recognizing these origins doesn't mean you have to relive the pain, but it does mean acknowledging its influence. Weakness has a way of disguising itself as protection. It tells you not to try because you might fail. It convinces you to stay in your comfort zone because the unknown is dangerous. But that protective voice isn't truly keeping you safe. It's keeping you small. It's keeping you from discovering the vastness of your potential. Recognizing this false sense of security is a critical step in dismantling the grip of weakness on your life. Sometimes inner weakness hides in the stories we tell ourselves. I'm not smart enough. I'm not talented enough. I'll never be as good as them. These stories become scripts that play on repeat in our minds, shaping our decisions and our destiny. To recognize your inner weakness, you have to challenge these stories. Where did they come from? Are they even true? Weakness thrives in the unchallenged narratives of your life, but it can't survive when you start asking hard questions. Another layer of inner weakness comes from comparison. In a world of curated perfection on social media and endless competition in the workplace, it's easy to feel like you're not measuring up. But comparison is a thief. It steals your joy, your confidence, and your peace of mind. Recognizing your weakness means acknowledging when you're caught in the trap of comparison and choosing to refocus on your unique journey instead of someone else's highlight reel. What if Procrastination is another manifestation of inner weakness. When you delay taking action, it's often because of fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, or even fear of success. Procrastination isn't laziness, it's avoidance. Recognizing your inner weakness means looking beyond the surface of your delays and asking yourself, what am I really afraid of? Once you can name that fear, you can begin to confront it. Finally, inner weakness can show up as a lack of boundaries. When you say yes to things you don't want to do or allow others to treat you in ways that diminish your value, you're operating from a place of weakness. Recognizing this requires you to examine your relationships and your choices. Are you acting from a place of strength and self-worth, or are you letting fear of conflict or rejection dictate your decisions? To truly transform your life, you must understand where your inner weaknesses come from. Weakness doesn't appear out of nowhere. It is built over time, shaped by experiences, environments, and relationships. Identifying the source of your weakness is not about blaming others or dwelling on the past, but about uncovering the root causes so you can address them with clarity and intention. It's like pulling weeds in a garden. You don't just trim the surface, you dig deep to remove them at the root. Many sources of inner weakness can be traced back to childhood. The words spoken to you by parents, teachers, or peers leave lasting imprints. A single sentence, like "you're not good enough" or "you'll never succeed," can embed itself in your subconscious, shaping how you view yourself for years to come. These early experiences create belief systems, and over time they solidify into self-doubt or fear of failure. Recognizing the source of these beliefs helps you challenge their validity and begin the process of letting them go. Trauma is another significant source of weakness. Trauma doesn't always come from catastrophic events. It can stem from repeated small experiences of feeling overlooked, unloved, or unsupported. These experiences create emotional scars that influence your behavior. You might avoid confrontation because of a history of being dismissed, or you might overextend yourself because you fear rejection. By identifying the connection between past trauma and current patterns, you gain the power to break free from the hold it has on you. Cultural and societal expectations can also contribute to inner weakness. From a young age, you are bombarded with messages about what success looks like, what beauty is, or how you should behave. These pressures can create an inner conflict between who you are and who you think you're supposed to be. When you don't measure up to these often unrealistic standards, weakness can creep in, manifesting as insecurity or a sense of inadequacy. Recognizing how society's messages have shaped your self-perception is a key step in reclaiming your power. Sometimes, the source of your weakness comes from repeated failures or setbacks. When you try and fail multiple times, it can erode your confidence and make you hesitant to take risks in the future. You may start to associate failure with your identity rather than seeing it as a part of the learning process. These experiences build walls of fear and doubt, but identifying them allows you to see failure for what it truly is, a teacher, not a verdict on your worth. Another source of weakness can be found in the relationships you've had throughout your life. Toxic relationships, whether with a partner, friend, or family member, can leave you questioning your value and second-guessing your abilities. Being constantly criticized, ignored, or undermined can create a narrative in your mind that you're not enough. Recognizing how these relationships have affected you helps you separate their opinions from your truth and start rebuilding your confidence. Finally, the fourth and last area of strength finding is turning inward, making inward focus your goal. The environment you grew up in also plays a significant role in shaping your inner weaknesses. If you were raised in a home where fear, scarcity, or negativity was prevalent, those attitudes could have seeped into your mindset. Perhaps you were taught to play it safe or to avoid risks because failure was seen as unacceptable. Identifying how your upbringing influenced your current fears and limitations is essential for breaking free from those inherited patterns. Finally, your own internal dialogue is a major source of weakness. Over the years, you've absorbed external messages and turned them into an internal voice that criticizes, doubts, or limits you. This voice might say things like, "You'll never be good enough," or "Why even bother trying?" While it may sound like your own thoughts, this voice is often a reflection of the sources you've internalized. your past experiences, relationships, and societal pressures. Recognizing this voice for what it is allows you to challenge it and replace it with a stronger, more empowering narrative. Self-accountability is the cornerstone of growth. It is the ability to take full ownership of your thoughts, actions, and decisions, regardless of the circumstances you face. To embrace self-accountability, you must first release the habit of blaming others or external factors for your situation. It's easy to say, "I didn't succeed because of them," or "life hasn't been fair to me." But these statements only strip you of your power. When you hold yourself accountable, you take that power back, recognizing that your response to any situation is within your control. It's life-changing when you realize that. Taking responsibility for your life begins with honest self-reflection. Look at the choices you've made and the patterns you've allowed to persist. Ask yourself hard questions. How have I contributed to my current circumstances? Where have I been avoiding responsibility? Self-accountability doesn't mean shaming yourself. It means facing the truth with courage and clarity. It's about admitting when you've fallen short, not as a way to criticize yourself, but as a way to grow and improve. One of the greatest barriers to self-accountability is the ego. The ego resists admitting fault because it wants to protect you from feelings of vulnerability or inadequacy. But true strength lies in humility. When you embrace self-accountability, you're not afraid to say, "I was wrong," or "I could have done better." This willingness to own your mistakes doesn't weaken you, it empowers you. It shows that you value growth over comfort and integrity over pride. Embracing self-accountability also requires you to set clear standards for yourself. Without standards, it's easy to drift through life, making excuses for inaction or poor choices. Ask yourself, what do I expect from myself? What kind of person do I want to be? Holding yourself to these standards means doing what's right even when it's hard, following through on your commitments, and refusing to settle for less than your potential. This level of accountability creates a foundation for trust, not just with others, but with yourself. When you hold yourself accountable, you stop waiting for someone else to fix your problems. You realize that no one is coming to save you, and that's not a bad thing. It's a liberating truth. You become the leader of your own life, taking proactive steps to create the outcomes you desire. Instead of blaming circumstances, you ask, "What can I do to change this?" Instead of waiting for the perfect time, you take action with what you have. This shift from passivity to ownership is transformative. Self-accountability also means recognizing the difference between reasons and excuses. Life will present you with obstacles, unexpected challenges, setbacks, or hardships. But how you respond is what defines you. An excuse seeks to shift responsibility away from you, while a reason acknowledges the challenge without relinquishing your power to act. By embracing self-accountability, you train yourself to focus on solutions rather than problems, turning obstacles into opportunities for growth. It's important to understand that self-accountability is not a one-time decision. It's a daily practice. Each day, you must choose to show up for yourself, to follow through on your goals, and to take ownership of your progress. This doesn't mean you won't stumble, of course you will, but self-accountability means learning from those stumbles, adjusting your course, and continuing forward. It's a commitment to consistency, knowing that small, intentional actions compound over time. Finally, self-accountability is an act of self-respect. When you hold yourself accountable, you demonstrate to yourself that you are worthy of effort, discipline, and follow-through. You stop settling for mediocrity and start living in alignment with your values and aspirations. This self-respect radiates outward, influencing how others perceive and treat you. People are drawn to those who take ownership of their lives because accountability breeds trust, integrity, and authenticity. Developing a stronger mindset starts with understanding that your thoughts shape your reality. What you believe about yourself and the world determines how you navigate challenges and opportunities. A strong mindset isn't about pretending life is easy or ignoring difficulties. It's about cultivating resilience and adaptability. It's the ability to face setbacks, failures, and obstacles with a mindset that says, I will grow from this. To build that strength, you must begin with awareness, recognizing the patterns of negative thinking that hold you back. One of the most powerful ways to develop a stronger mindset is through intentional self-talk. The words you speak to yourself matter deeply. Negative self-talk statements like, I can't do this, or I always mess up, reinforces a sense of helplessness. Instead, train yourself to reframe those thoughts into empowering ones. This is hard, but I'll figure it out. Or, I'm learning and improving every day. Over time, these shifts in language begin to rewire your brain, making positivity and perseverance your default response. A stronger mindset also requires embracing discomfort. Growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. It happens when you push yourself beyond what feels easy or safe, whether it's taking on a new challenge, facing a fear, or learning a difficult skill. The willingness to step into discomfort is a hallmark of mental strength. When you experience discomfort, remind yourself that it's not a sign to stop. It's a sign that you're evolving. Each moment of discomfort is an opportunity to build resilience and expand your capacity. Another critical aspect of a strong mindset is focusing on what you can control. Life is unpredictable, and many factors are beyond your influence. Worrying about these uncontrollable elements drains your energy and undermines your confidence. Instead, direct your attention to the things you can change: your actions, your attitude, and your perspective. When you focus on what's within your control, you reclaim your power and position yourself to handle challenges more effectively. Practicing gratitude is another essential tool for developing a stronger mindset. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant. It's easy to dwell on problems or what's going wrong, but gratitude trains your brain to recognize the good in your life, even during tough times. A daily practice of gratitude, whether through journaling or simply pausing to reflect, builds mental strength by fostering a positive outlook. It reminds you that no matter how difficult life may feel, there is always something to be thankful for. Consistency is key to building a strong mindset. You can't strengthen your mind overnight, just as you can't build physical strength from a single workout. It requires daily effort, repetition, and commitment. Set small, manageable goals for yourself and celebrate your progress along the way. These small wins reinforce your belief in your ability to overcome challenges. Over time, this consistency builds a foundation of confidence and mental toughness that carries you through even the most difficult situations. Surrounding yourself with the right people is another vital step in strengthening your mindset. The people you spend time with have a profound impact on your mental and emotional state. Seek out individuals who inspire you, challenge you, and support your growth. Avoid those who drain your energy or feed your doubts. When you surround yourself with positivity and encouragement, it becomes easier to maintain a strong, focused mindset. Lastly, developing a stronger mindset requires patience and self-compassion. Growth is not linear, and there will be days when you feel like you're back at square one. On those days, it's crucial to be kind to yourself. Acknowledge your efforts, forgive your setbacks, and remind yourself that progress is a journey, not a destination. A strong mindset is not about being perfect. It's about being persistent. It's about showing up for yourself even when it feels hard and continuing to strive for your best self. Taking bold, decisive actions is the catalyst for transformation. While reflection and planning are important, it is action that turns dreams into reality. Bold actions require you to step out of your comfort zone, often into uncharted territory. These are not the small, safe steps that feel manageable. They are the leaps of faith that challenge your courage and test your resilience. Boldness doesn't mean recklessness. It means acting with intention and purpose, even when fear or uncertainty looms large. Decisiveness is a skill that grows stronger with practice. Many people hesitate to act because they are waiting for the perfect moment or for absolute certainty. But the truth is, waiting for perfection often leads to inaction. There will rarely be a time when every detail aligns flawlessly. To take decisive action, you must learn to trust your instincts and make the best choice with the information you have. Even if it's not perfect, action creates momentum, and momentum breeds opportunities. One of the greatest barriers to bold action is fear. Fear of failure, rejection, or making the wrong choice. But fear, when left unchallenged, becomes a prison that keeps you stuck. To overcome it, you must redefine failure. Failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of the process. Each misstep is a lesson that equips you with the knowledge and experience to move closer to your goals. When you take bold actions, you're not just risking failure, you're opening yourself up to growth and possibility. Taking bold, decisive actions also requires clarity about what you want. Without a clear vision, it's easy to feel paralyzed by too many options or distracted by irrelevant goals. Spend time reflecting on your values, priorities, and ultimate aspirations. Once you know what truly matters to you, align your actions with those priorities. Boldness comes more easily when you have a strong why driving your decisions, giving you the confidence to move forward with purpose. Another key to bold action is letting go of the need for approval. Often we hesitate to act because we worry about what others will think. But bold decisions are rarely popular at first. They may disrupt the status quo or challenge conventional expectations, and that's okay. To take bold actions, you must prioritize your vision over others' opinions. Trust that those who truly support you will respect your courage, even if they don't fully understand your choices in the moment. Bold, decisive actions don't have to be grand gestures. They can also be small, consistent steps taken with confidence and determination. For example, speaking up at a meeting, asking for what you deserve, or pursuing a passion project are all bold acts in their own way. What makes them bold is not their size, but their significance. Each step you take strengthens your ability to face challenges, proving to yourself that you are capable of far more than you imagined. Decisive action also means accepting responsibility for the outcomes of your choices. Boldness isn't about guaranteeing success, it's about being willing to own whatever happens next. If your actions lead to success, celebrate and build on that momentum. If they lead to setbacks, analyze what went wrong, learn from it, and pivot accordingly. Taking responsibility, whether for triumphs or failures, is a sign of true strength and maturity. Finally, bold action is contagious. When you act with courage and decisiveness, it inspires others to do the same. Your willingness to take risks and pursue your goals with determination becomes a source of motivation for those around you. You might not realize it in the moment, but your boldness has the power to create ripples of change, not just in your life, but in the lives of others as well. Celebrating the new you is not just about acknowledging how far you've come, but also about embracing the person you've become in the process. Transformation is not easy. It requires effort, sacrifice, and an unwavering commitment to growth. Yet so often, we move from one accomplishment to the next without taking the time to pause and honor our progress. Celebrating the new you is an act of self-love, a moment to recognize the strength, resilience, and courage it took to evolve into who you are today. One of the most important aspects of celebration is reflection. Look back at the journey you've traveled and the obstacles you've overcome. Recall the moments when you felt like giving up but chose to persevere instead. Celebrate the small victories, the incremental progress that may have seemed insignificant at the time but ultimately led to monumental change. Each step, no matter how small, was a building block for the transformation you now embody. Celebrating the new you also means recognizing the growth in your mindset. Think about how you approach challenges differently now, how you handle setbacks with grace, and how you've cultivated a greater sense of self-awareness. Perhaps you've let go of limiting beliefs or replaced negative self-talk with empowering affirmations. This internal shift is just as significant as any external accomplishment and deserves to be celebrated fully. Another way to celebrate the new you is by honoring the changes in your habits and behaviors. Whether you've developed discipline, prioritized self-care, or created healthier boundaries, these shifts are proof of your dedication to becoming your best self. Habits are the foundation of who you are, and changing them requires intentionality and persistence. Take pride in the new routines you've established and how they've contributed to the person you're becoming. But celebrating the new you also involves expressing gratitude to yourself for the hard work you've put in and to the people and experiences that supported your growth. Gratitude amplifies the joy of your achievements and reminds you that transformation is never a solo journey. Whether it was a mentor, a friend, or even a challenging experience that pushed you forward, acknowledging those influences adds depth to your celebration. As you celebrate, take a moment to embrace the confidence that comes with growth. Recognize how far you've come in trusting yourself and your abilities. The new you is more resilient, more self-assured, and more capable of facing life's challenges head-on. This confidence isn't arrogance. It's a quiet assurance rooted in the work you've done and the knowledge that you have the tools to navigate whatever comes next. Celebrating the new you doesn't mean you've reached a final destination. It means you're honoring this stage of your journey. Growth is ongoing, and there will always be new challenges and opportunities to evolve. But by taking the time to celebrate where you are now, you create a sense of momentum and motivation to keep moving forward. It's a reminder that you're not just surviving, you're thriving, and that's worth acknowledging. Finally, celebrating the new you is about sharing your light with the world. Your transformation isn't just about you, it's about the positive impact you can have on others. Whether it's inspiring someone to start their own journey, offering support to those who need it, or simply showing up as your authentic self, the new you has the power to make a difference. Celebrating who you've become is a declaration to the world that growth is possible and it's worth every effort.